You ever been scrolling online, maybe late at night, and you stumble across a video that just hits you like it was made for you right at that exact moment you needed to hear it? It's a pretty wild feeling. So today, we're going to break down the anatomy of these messages, how and why they can feel so perfectly timed and so personal.
Our story starts with this number. Yeah, that's a lot of zeros. This is the percentage of people that a particular spiritual source claims will ever find its message. Now, right off the bat, that creates this intense feeling of rarity, doesn't it? It's telling you, hey, if you're here, it's no accident. You were meant to be here.
I mean, it's such a powerful feeling, right? In this endless ocean of content we're all swimming in, to have something feel like it's a message in a bottle just for you. That's the core experience we're really diving into today.
All right, so what is this message actually saying? To really get why it's so powerful, we have to look at its core ideas, the building blocks that are basically designed to make you feel like you're one of the special ones.
And there it is. That's the hook. The main idea is that you didn't just randomly click this video. No, it's proof. It's confirmation that you've already gone through some kind of deep personal transformation. The very act of clicking is framed as evidence that you're just vibrating on a whole new level.
So, the message itself is built on this foundation of just total validation. It takes all your current struggles and reframes them as a necessary purge. It tells you your biggest dreams aren't silly, they're your actual destiny. It's a whole narrative that says, hey, you're not falling behind, you're way ahead of the curve.
Okay, but how do you know any of this is true? Well, the message has a simple and pretty brilliant answer. God is good. So the logic is, if something feels good, it must be divine. It's a direct line. And just like that, your own positive feelings become the ultimate truth detector.
So we get what the message is. But the big question is, why? Why does it land with such a huge impact for some people? Let's get into the psychology of it, because this is where it gets really interesting.
It often follows a path kind of like this. Someone's already on a journey of self-discovery. Maybe they're getting into something like numerology, and then, bam, they find a message like this one. And it just perfectly mirrors what they've been feeling or thinking. That external validation feels like a divine sync, and that's when it goes from being an interesting idea to a core truth.
This way of thinking also completely reframes anxiety. You know that nervous, buzzing, rattling feeling you get before a big change? The message says that's not a sign to back off. That's the feeling of growth itself. It's the vibration of you tuning into a new breakthrough frequency.
Now, what's really fascinating is that the analysis we're looking at uses some pretty structured tools, like numerology and even AI, to make sense of all these spiritual concepts. It's like building this surprising bridge between something mystical and something totally analytical.
And just look at how well the languages line up here. On one side, you have numerology describing a number 2 as this harmonious, intuitive bridge builder, and on the other, the channeled message is talking about being a compassionate, guiding light. You see? They're describing the exact same type of person, just using a completely different vocabulary. It's pretty cool.
To make this even clearer, think about this analogy. Most people are like drums. Loud, forceful, making a lot of noise to get things done. But this message says you are a tuning fork. Your power isn't in force. It's in your quiet, precise vibration that naturally brings others into harmony.
Or if you're more of a tech person, try this one on for size. This spiritual shift is basically a software update for your life. You're not broken, you're just debugging. You're getting rid of old buggy code like fear and doubt and installing awesome new features like joy and purpose.
And if that doesn't work, how about some physics? The idea is your personal resonance starts acting like a gravitational pull. You stop having to chase after people and opportunities. Instead, by just being you, you effortlessly attract everything that's meant for you.
So what does this all mean for your day-to-day life? I mean, this is where the rubber meets the road. And maybe the biggest shift is how you think about work.
It's a complete flip from work to service. The old way is the grind, right? It's transactional, it's depleting. The new paradigm is all about sharing from a place of joy, of overflow. It's not a transaction that drains you, it's a cycle that actually re-energizes you.
This all comes together in what's called the law of circulation. And the analogy is super simple. A pond versus a river. A pond just holds on to water, and eventually it gets stagnant and gross. But a river is always flowing, always fresh, and it nourishes everything around it. The idea is clear. The more you share your gifts, the more abundance flows right back to you.
So all of this, It leads to this one really powerful conclusion about your life. And it's one that's designed to completely replace all that anxiety with a deep, profound sense of trust.
Just let that one sink in for a second. It's not your job to make it happen. This might be the most freeing idea in the entire message. The pressure is just gone. You don't have to force things. You don't have to control every little detail. The universe has got the logistics covered.
So if it's not your job to make it all happen, then what is your job? Well, it's a lot simpler. It's to lean into what feels exciting, to share the things that light you up, to trust the process, be patient, and in any given moment, just choose the thought that feels a little bit better. Your focus shifts from all this doing to simply being.
And that brings us to the final question, really. Whether you think this whole phenomenon is divine timing, or just really smart algorithms, or basic psychology, it leaves us with this huge question for the world we live in now. With all this noise, all this information flying at us, how do we learn to hear the signal of our own truth? How do we learn to trust it?